Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello all. We will talk about a lot of things that now that may concern the health of people, and I know that we should talk about these things because people are now lost between a lot of advices and recommendations and so on. And people know how to live, they know very well how to live, but when the things are coming, when these advices or these recommendations are coming from some scientific, some researchers and from academic level, people should really respect these things. And now we heard about the vegetarian diet, about the vegan diet, the Mediterranean diet, and the ketogenic diet, the low carb diet, and the gluten-free, casein-free diet. A lot of them now, but people are really lost and they don't know what kind of diet they should really follow. And the mixed diet is the diet with really we can eat all things, and the diet characterized by high amount and high proportions of animal sourced foods like meats and dairy products. But we in Islam, in our religion, we have only one diet, and this diet is the right one, and people should come back to this diet because it was described really by the Quran and by the Sunnah. And I think that there is that we should not really miss everything in this from these two sources, and from this Quran and from Sunnah. Our diet, the Islamic diet, is taking account and is really taking in account all things, and the complete diet should, and they respect all the kinds of foods that they exist and our God subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for us. The Islamic diet is characterized by two strong points which might not exist in other diets: fasting and not eat haram foods or non-halal foods. These things cannot exist in other diet, and we should really respect these rules in food. First, all things prohibited or banned in Islam are very dangerous for the health: alcohol and swine meat, pork meat, and animals not really slaughtered according to the Islamic method, to the Islamic procedure. we call them mayta. They are not slaughtered, they are not bleeded. And these things now are the source of many diseases, that because when we don't drive out the blood from the animal, because there is a rich medium inside the animal, and it might really encourage the microbial growth. And also this blood is charged, is containing some toxin and some viruses and microorganisms, some dangerous molecules. They should not exist in meats. And when we roasted the meat, weighed the blood inside it, you get iron, and iron is an oxidant, is a metal, and a very strong oxidant metal that you should induce some diseases inside the body. Don't Islam banned the non-slaughtered animals because of the blood, and because meat should be of high quality and should be safe. Non-bleeded animals are not safe for the healthy. This is the strong point in our Islamic diet. The second one is that it banned alcohol, and we know that alcohol and ketogenic and aldehyde, ketones, aldehydes, alcohols, and amides in chemical entities, chemical compounds, are toxic for the liver. And many people now are contracting some liver cancer from drinking alcohol, and not too much alcohol, but any amount of alcohol is dangerous, and any amount of alcohol should induce a lot of diseases, not only the liver cancer, but also the brain, and also the physiology in the body. And also pregnant lady who drinks, they should have some babies with really delaying activity, and some diseases. We call them we call them now ADD. The ADD come from ladies who drinks or take some drugs when pregnant. This point is very strong, and it should be really pointed out. It should really be, people should think of this thing in our Islamic diet, and we should be really proud about these things, that our religion banned the bad things for our health, which are alcohol and which are non-slaughtered or non-bleeded animals, and some other animals with claws, like some birds with claws, and some animals, and all the animals with some canines that we know that we don't eat the food of panthers and lions and a lot of other animals. There is a precision now, 14 centuries and a half, about a half now, and science was at that time couldn't exist at that time, but even something coming from wahi, from our God subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Lord, and we should really respect these things and should follow them, because they are from our creator, not from our doctors or from our researchers in the universities. The second point is fasting in our diet, and fasting is not optional in the Islamic diet. Fasting is mandatory in our diet. It's mandatory. We are obliged to fast, and not only fasting Ramadan, which is a pillar of our religion, but also fasting Sunnah, fasting on Monday and also on Thursday. Monday and Thursday we can fast any day. We prefer that because our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to fast the Monday and Thursday, but we can fast all the other days, no problem in our religion. We have no limitations for praying God. There is no limitation for praying our God. This is a golden rule in our religion. The second thing is that we will talk about some nice things, that we should not eat too much. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam becomes to not eat too much, and to not eat by night. And we don't ban meat. We eat meat, but we don't eat meat every day. And our diet should be as simple as possible, and we should mix a lot of things in the same time. And we should stuff our stomach. We should not fill the whole stomach in the same time in the same meal. That we should let it in ease. We should let a head space in the stomach for we can digest easily, and for the digestion can be done completely and easily without any stomach upset, or should not be disturbed by a mixture of food and many foods in the same time. This is very important, and we are now preferring a lot of things. Our diet should really contain all the components, all the food components, cereals, pulses, vegetables, fruits, dried fruits and fresh fruits, seeds, also like flax seed, like black cumin, fenugreek, cress seeds, and so on, and also some spices like coriander seeds, like pepper, like ginger and galangal and cinnamon and cloves, and a lot of things that we should take them in our food. There are many hadiths of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam about these things that the modern diet is ignoring. There are many hadith about black cumin, the hadith about some spices, and the hadith about some grains and some things that our Prophet subhanahu wa ta'ala should really make us, and should make us to not forget or to not ignore them. Our diet is preventing us to not ignore any food components. We are not vegan, we are not vegetarians, we are not Mediterranean, we are not low carb, we are not ketogenic. We are all but balanced and complete food diet. A complete and balanced food diet in the Islamic diet. So we are not eating too much meat. Meat is not a basic food in our diet. It's not a basic food. Meat is not a basic food in the Islamic diet. But I think grains, al-hab, grains are the basic foods, all type of grains, including cereals, pulses, and also some seeds, and some things that we can get from the forest, like sao palmito, fruits, and like a lot of cursus, and a lot of things that like jujube fruits and so on, that we can eat them. So And we are in our countries, we don't ignore and we don't forget anything, but we are eating a complete and a balanced food, that because at least in all the Islamic countries we respect this diet by eating cereals, and all the cereals we don't eat only wheat, but also barley, corns, rice, wheat, and all the grains. We eat also the pulses like fava beans or broad beans, lentils and beans, and also peas and chickpeas, and soya also is included with the pulses. All the vegetables without any limitation and without anything banned. But our rules in Islam, all things banned by our religions are animal sourced, except alcohol, which can come from some fruits, by fermentation from some fruits. And alcohol doesn't exist in the nature, but man who was used to make and to prepare this alcohol, this beverage, by brewing or by fermenting some fruits like dates and grapes, also some figs also, and honey. We can also get wine or alcohol from honey. And now in this diet, I think that there are many things that in Quran it was narrated, some verses about grains. فَلْيَنْظُرُ الْإِنسَانُ إِلَى طَعَامِهِ إِنَّا صَبَبْنَا الْمَاءَ صَبًّا ثُمَّ شَقَقْنَا الْأَرْضَ شَقًّا فَأَنْبَتْنَا فِيهَا حَبًّا. Our God wants us to see our food, our sustenance, and He pointed out in this verse to the grains. And grains might designate all the grains I talked about, cereals, pulses, and also some seeds. And grains are a basic food, for us. It's the main energy or the main need of the body from macronutrients, and micronutrients should come from grains, from cereals, from pulses, and also from vegetables. And the Quran also in some verses that recommend us or advises us to not eat too much. يا بني آدم خذوا زينتكم عند كل مسجد وكلوا واشربوا. Our God wants us to eat and to drink and to do everything. Why not? وَلَا تُسْرِفُوا, but with some limitation, but not go far in eating and not eat too much and not drink too much. So we should respect this rule and these recommendations in our religion, and I think that we will give more explanations about this complete diet or Islamic diet, and we will make it sure and we will make it scientifically approved by all what has narrated in the Quran and also what has narrated in hadith of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we should not really go far from this, and we should not really ignore this Islamic diet, and we should proud about these strength points and these main important factors for our health, which are fast, not eat too much, and also by the food banned. We should not really approach these banned foods, because since our God has banned them, they are not good for our health. And we are really convinced, and we know that because that we cannot really trust, we cannot really believe in the Quran and in the God and in the Ghaib, something that we cannot see and we don't know. If only when we are Muslim, if we believe and we trust in Ghaib, in everything that we cannot see, but our God told us about. And I think that until another episode, that for more information and also for more explanation and also for scientific proof that our religion is not a theological religion, but is a proof, theology and proof, and we should prove everything scientifically now with the equipment, when the laboratories now exist and when the research exists in our universities and the academic level, that we should really go back to study these things, not to ignore them. Until another episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.